Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. What's next? Jay Leno for president? And he's got the rundown.
Sam, it's the day after the California recall. And guess what we're going to talk about? Politics. Don Carlson joins us, and we're going to do an analysis on yesterday's election. And Native Americans are actually a sovereign nation. There are some things you should know before you do business with them. Ernie Adler is here to help us with that. Sam?
Thanks, Andy. And on the Power Pundit panel today, John Gwaltney and Paul Enos. It's all coming up next on the all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Catch a straight, dine at 8. Lucky you. Lucky you. Dance till 1. Have some fun. Lucky you. Lucky you. Taste the shrimp. Have a sip. Try the pool. Play it cool. At the Sienna Hotel Spa Casino. Lucky you. Yeah!
The biggest risk your company can take.
Well, Barbara, you did very well on your interview.
Hiring employees can help your business get to the next level.
And your resume looks outstanding.
And it can also expose you to corporate crimes and costly lawsuits that can bring your company to its knees.
So, we'd like to offer you a position.
Before you hire another employee, hire the professionals at Employer Links. Call today to get our free CD-ROM, The Top 8 Risk of Hiring Employees.
If you own a business and want to maximize your company's potential, join the Retail Association of Nevada. Our membership benefits include the Nevada Retail Network Self-Insured Group, providing workers' compensation coverage that can lower your rates. That savings can go directly to your bottom line. We are an effective pro-business organization that lobbies on behalf of our business members. The Retail Association of Nevada, protecting Nevada businesses for 35 years. Call 882-1700 to see what we can do for your organization.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad, political analyst Ande Engleman on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the News 4 Broadcast Center, here's Sam Shad.
Pollster Don Carlson joins us this morning. He runs Survey Research Systems. How did the pollsters do without really having anything to base their research on?
Well, as I understand it, of course, we have a couple million absentee ballots, but as I understand it, the night papers probably had the most accurate data.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They were the closest in
Yes.
calling this.
Yes.
Why do you suppose that was?
Perhaps luck as well as some good science.
All right, well, what do you think that this recall tells us?
Well, I think a significant block of Californian voters are, well, if you will, kind of a distressed damsel. And I think they decided to hitch up with a groper because they were so disgusted with the incumbent. And I think in part the opponents of Governor Schwarzenegger and their last 4-day smear, if you will, I think it says something about one of the consequences of Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton's escapades, I think, have dehumanized and desensitized the body politic about scandal.
Oh, come on, Don. Excuse me a second here. You know, scandals in the White House go back way beyond President Clinton. You can go back to the Kennedy administration and even beyond further than that in the Senate and Congress. I mean, this is nothing new. People are not stupid.
The Kennedy presidency, though, did not project the same images as later.
Not during, but after.
Well, but I'm talking about while in.
Well,
yes.
but the public is still aware of what went on.
Well,
all right, carry on. I'm sorry.
Let me give a woman's perspective on this. I'm tired of men talking about how women react to things. The reality is, this was about the economy. There's a lot of women out there that have to feed their children and need food on the table. They don't care if this guy a couple of years ago went out and groped some women. Is he going to make a difference in their lives as far as being able to feed their children? That's what counts.
Well, put another way, I think you have a very strong what I call an anti-institutionalist vote. And California is a significant prelude to politics in America.
But don't you think that that they have been duped? Because really, Governor Pete Wilson is standing there right alongside Arnold and is going to be helping him to assemble his government there?
I think you're going to. I think it's already. I think it's already transpiring. I don't think the media is there yet. I think you're seeing the anti-institutionalist mood being expressed in the Howard Dean campaign. I think today. I think today Howard Dean's going to be the Democratic nominee, and I'm sorry. There's a significant block of Democrats. They are very tired of Gephardt. They're very tired of Kerry. They're very tired of the institutionalists. They want change, and significant change, and I think that was demonstrated yesterday in California.
So, all right. So, what the anger that we saw in California, if you want to call it that, or frustration, is reflective of what's going on across the nation?
I think so. I think there is good news, if you will, in yesterday's vote for President Bush, and I think there's some bad news in yesterday's news in California for President Bush.
You want to go both? Give us a brief answer on both of those?
I think the economy is far more significant of a problem for President Bush than maybe he can handle. I also believe there are some other issues with Bush, and one of those other issues is he's now an incumbent.
Right.
He can't run as an outsider very well.
Well, what do you think about the people who say that this is also the middle class who feel that the rich got theirs, that they've gotten all the tax cuts and the tax breaks, and the poor are being taken care of, and it's the middle class that aren't being taken care of?
Well, I think there's an element of that. I think there are many explanations to why voters vote the way they vote. I don't think there's a single explanation. But I think the country is concerned about the direction, both economically as well as in foreign military policy. And I think Howard Dean is going to be, if you will, a significant surprise, as Schwarzenegger was a surprise for some yesterday.
Just quickly, do people feel like they know Arnold Schwarzenegger because of having gone to his movies?
Well, I would speculate they don't understand, where he is on the issues as nearly well as they want.
Andy, they understand it because they read People magazine.
Oh, okay.
And they watch Entertainment Tonight.
Oh.
But
Don, would you stick around for the pundit panel? We're out of time in this segment. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this timeout.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Terry.
And this is Dan's Pizza and Parlor. Everything we make here is from scratch. Our fresh cut fries, homemade hamburgers made to order, fresh pizza dough made with 3 types of flour, and Terry's secret pizza sauce, and Dreyer's world-famous ice cream. And if you have a sports team, your kids can really have a great time here. Oh! Dan's Pizza and Parlor on Victorian Avenue, just down the street from Great Basin Brewery next to Pyramid Highway.
Would you like to savor a Trento pork chop? Or maybe pasta rags with grilled chicken? Hugo's Tuscan Grill at D'Andrea is a celebration of color, flavor, and freshness. Each dish is created from natural, wholesome foods that is delicious and nutritious. Hugo's is a comfortable restaurant with breathtaking city views. If you enjoy great food and good company, visit us here at Hugo's. It's the best that dining can be. 2900 South D'Andrea Parkway in Sparks.
Welcome to Sushi Club, best sushi in town.
The Sushi Club in Independence Square used the best quality products. The sushi is dynamite, and the service is just wonderful.
The Sushi Club is bigger and better. We have 11 sushi chefs on staff, and the service is great.
All your friends will tell you that Sushi Club is the best place for the best sushi.
Come join us for lunch or dinner.
The Sushi Club, 294 East Moana Lane in the Independence Square.
Now that's great sushi.
To experience the royal cuisine of India, you need some serious magic or simply transport yourself to India Garden, right here in Reno, where you'll discover Indian specialties refined over centuries. Sikh kebab, tandoori dishes cooked in our own tandoor oven, biryani specialties, curries, fresh-baked Indian bread, over a dozen vegetarian dishes, even dishes rare to India like dosa, South Indian-style crepes. India Garden off South Virginia near Sports West. We are India.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
Attorney Ernie Adler has extensive experience in dealing with tribes, and we welcome him to the program.
Thank you, Ernie, for being here.
It's good to be here.
Let me explain why I wanted you to address this issue. Just briefly, a couple of years ago when I was freelancing, I was hired by a Hungarian television station to cover a case in federal court. This had to do with the Morago Indian tribe opening a casino and the fact that they reneged on the contract that they had with people, and they went to court, and the court said, you lose because this is a sovereign nation. You can't sue them. You can't get your money back from them. But this could happen to any of us. Is this right?
Well, it's true. Tribes have sovereign immunity, and being sovereigns, you can't really sue them for money damages or injunctive relief. And that applies to not only contracts that are executed for the reservation, but off the reservation for services.
Okay, so let's see if we can explain this. If you sell a car to an Indian that lives on the reservation.
Not an Indian tribe.
An Indian, it has to be to the tribe, not to an individual person. Right. Okay, so you sell it to the tribe. If they put it on the reservation and they don't pay the bill, you can't go get the car?
That's correct. But there are ways around it. You can, if you get the tribal council to pass a resolution waiving their sovereign immunity as to that transaction, then you can collect.
So you would need them to sign a paper before the sale goes through.
Right.
Saying that they give up their immunity.
Right. Well, not just a paper. It would have to be approved by the tribal council.
Okay, so now, what kind of arrangements do you understand are being signed by these major casino organizations?
Well, I think what they have is limited waivers of sovereign immunity, and that's how they're able to set this up so that there can be some legal recourse if there's a dispute. But I really think that what Indian tribes should do in Nevada, because these people are now sophisticated people, this original protection of sovereign immunity was to protect people that weren't thought to be sophisticated. Tribal councils and chairmen and managers of tribes now are very sophisticated, more sophisticated than many small towns in Nevada. And what I think they should do is say insure up to say $50,000 on any transaction and then waive their immunity up to that level the same way the state of Nevada does. And then people would feel free to do business on a reservation without fearing that they may lose their money. And I think that would promote business relationships between tribal and non-tribal community. But right now, for instance, I had a case where a woman went to a smoke shop and a piece of awning hit her on the head, knocked her out, and she broke her arm. Well, she had no recourse.
She couldn't sue to recover any of those damages?
No, and we brought a claim, and the tribe was insured. They had insurance. But the insurance company asserted tribal immunity and didn't pay her claim. So that made no sense. The tribe was doing the right thing. They got insurance. But then the insurance company asserted tribal immunity and got out of paying her routine claim for medical bills and so forth, which
wow,
I didn't think was right. I thought that in that case, both entities got hurt. The tribe got hurt and the person who got hit by the awning.
So you need to be careful when you go onto tribal land at any time, because if you're injured, you can't be certain of recovering the cost of your injury.
That's correct. It isn't the same situation you have in the state of Nevada.
Well, there's a boost for shopping on the internet. What? Sorry.
Okay. Well, what do you see in California now? Cruz Bustamante obviously was heavily backed by Indian gaming.
Yes.
And what do you see the recourse for Arnold Schwarzenegger at this point? Do you think he's going to take revenge in some way?
Well, there's a lot of resentment against Indian gaming in California, and I think that was part of what happened to Cruz Bustamante in this election.
Beyond boring commercials, I heard some. I was in California.
No,
my God, most boring commercials I've ever heard.
I have a friend who's a very liberal environmentalist. She's mad at him because they set up these casinos in these pristine areas, and there's a lot of traffic, and she thinks brings air pollution and so on and so forth. So there's some things out there that are very anti-Indian gaming in California, and so I think Arnold Schwarzenegger's got to really watch it, because I think that part of that vote was evidence of that. I mean, we think it's okay in Nevada to take gaming money because we're a gaming state, but they don't think it's okay in California to take gaming money from anybody.
Wow.
Whether it's a tribe or anyone else.
I want to clarify something quickly back on the other subject we were talking about. If you sell something to an Indian who lives on, or a Native American who lives on a reservation, and they don't pay the bill, can you go on the reservation and collect it?
Most tribal courts will allow you to repossess.
But you have to go through the court, tribal court, and get permission before you can do that.
And most tribal courts in Nevada are very well run. So most of the time that's not going to be a problem.
All right, well, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, Ernie, will you join us on the pundit panel?
Yes.
We'll be right back, and you'll never guess what we'll talk about. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers.
Before you head to Carson, take care of yourself with a visit to Tamarack Junction. Catch a hot cup of coffee and the morning news on one of our 32 TVs and enjoy the best food in South Reno. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Today's lesson, another reason to take the Gold Rush Club Card Challenge. With the Gold Rush Card, you really have 3 cards in one. Use your cash back. You still keep your comps and drawing tickets. Use your comps. You still keep your cash and drawing tickets. And with your drawing tickets, you could win thousands in cold hard cash every week. And still keep your cash back and comps. Does your club add up? Graduate to the Gold Rush Players Club. It's the smart thing to do. The Gold Dust West, south on Keystone, east on 4th.
Sign up for Wells Fargo free checking. You get more than free checking. You get the freedom to bank when and where you want. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Make your daily commute easy with breakfast or lunch at the Tamarack Junction. Enjoy daily specials, super fast service, and South Reno's freshest morning meals. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And we're back on the pundit panel with Don Carlson, John Gwaltney, Paul Enos, and Ernie Adler. All right, we'll get into this real quick. We'll pick up a little bit where Don left off. Don, you were talking about the fact that this election in California could mean things for Howard Dean as far as the presidential nomination is concerned.
I think so. My sense today is that Howard Dean is clearly the top candidate, and you know,
even though he's a liberal Democrat?
I don't know if I would call him a liberal Democrat. I think he's by policy all over the spectrum.
He's out there talking. I mean, he's out there presenting an issue to the public. You know, I hearken back to the election last night. I think you saw a grassroots response that says we're really very fed up with politics as usual. And anyone who presents an image that I'm out of the mainstream, I'm presenting a challenge to the public, will get a better hearing than they used to get. And so I have a tendency to agree with you that he's a likely candidate because he presents to his party a little bit different than the other in the flock.
Well, and he's also saying some interesting things. I think that Arnold has said that government spends too much money, that there needs to be some limits. I know that's Howard Dean's actually the only candidate that I've heard ever run for president who says we need to have spending limits on government. I don't know if that's kind of a way to get at Bush for his $87 billion to Iraq, but it's interesting when you hear a politician say that.
Jump in here, Ernie.
Well, I think George Bush, if you look at just the numbers, is a 10 times Gray Davis in terms of his deficit spending and some of the other issues, which if Dean starts tapping into that, could be real problems. People aren't looking at that right now.
Well,
but
California doesn't send people to war either.
Yeah.
Well, that's true, but a lot of it, the issue deficit is not the war.
The issue last night was not deficit and so on. You know, I think it was a politician from Massachusetts said all politics is local. The economy in California has been difficult. The deficit in California is a personal issue when it arrives in the form of a tax on your car. It is an issue that became very angry among the folks, and I think that spread. I mean, I watched Jesse Ventura last night say, Arnold is not one of us independents, but he was thought of as an independent by the public.
We have some graphs out of the New York Times showing more or less why and how people voted for Arnold Schwarzenegger, and in that it talks about the fact that they really were interested in voting on the issues, but then they admit in there that they didn't have enough information on the issues from any of the candidates. So why did Arnold Schwarzenegger get so many votes?
Well, I think that as far as the business community goes, California has had kind of an anti-business climate for so long, or that reputation. To have somebody who's actually saying we need to bring businesses back, we need to generate revenue through business in the state of California in order to keep people here and keep it going, I think that is a policy issue. I mean, be it vague, it is something that will attract people to the polls.
Go ahead.
Well, I have clients that have businesses both in Nevada and California, and the workman's comp premiums are literally 3 times as much in California. It's a huge, huge problem. That does make people very, very angry when they're paying those types of premiums. One client of mine pays $35,000 a month for workman's comp for 200 employees. That is a huge amount of money.
I also think you see the continuing advancement of what I call the personalization of politics. And that is that parties mean less and less. And frankly, philosophies or ideologies mean less and less. And so we make judgment on, I have this sense of this person. Kind of like you pick a lawyer, kind of like you pick a doctor.
Well, you don't think that has anything to do with philosophy, though? I mean, when I look at somebody's personality, especially somebody I'm going to vote for, I like to take their personal philosophy and where they are kind of on the political spectrum into account.
You perhaps do, but I think the vast majority of voters do not.
I think Don may be right. I think we may be moving in the direction of people following their instincts, and that often when they're angry, that's the response you get.
Okay, let me bring up something else, and actually Sam reminded me of this. Back in '94, the Christian right galvanized a lot of their voters by going on the radio, on Christian radio, and nobody else was listening, and yet they came out, and it was really the Reagan Revolution that took over. Howard Dean has used the internet very effectively. Are we going to see the internet now as sort of the stealth gathering place?
I think Joe Trippi of he was advance man with the Bradley campaign, and I think he learned a lot. And I'm very, very fascinated by Trippi's managing of Dean. I think the Dean campaign is going to utilize the internet as Kennedy utilized television. I think we may have our first internet nomination.
Really?
So raising money, organizing people. There's a fascinating story about a woman who no longer is active in the Democratic Central Committee, no longer active in the Democratic Women's Club, because she has kids and so forth, and she can do all this stuff, take care of her kids, clean her house, and be home.
Well, I think as a tool to organize campaigns, I think that's where you're really going to see the internet take hold. I don't know if the internet is going to completely revolutionize the way that people campaign. I think you're still going to have people go to door. You're still going to have yard signs. But I think as a tool to organize that, the internet.
That's what I mean. But he has 39,000 D-nights across the country. And they keep expanding. They have a pyramid scheme and so forth. There's this one woman who has raised $2,000 from $10 donations.
Well, all right, let's clarify that Dean doesn't have a pyramid scheme.
This organizational pyramid scheme, I said. The organizational pyramid scheme.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're right about the one-to-one communications. The internet provides two-way communications. TV provides one-way communications. The Kennedy model was wonderful because John Kennedy was the best I'd ever seen at the time of speaking to you in a one-way communications. This device will allow two-way communications in a way we've never seen in politics.
Okay.
And it's almost free.
Right.
As opposed to television, which is not free.
Right. And just quickly, clearly this election of Arnold Schwarzenegger is good for Nevada because he doesn't like, not too wild about Indian gaming, and that's good for us. But very quickly, 10 seconds from each of you, what does it portend for Nevada's election? We've got Bob Beers running against Ray Rawson. Don, I'll start with you. What do you think is going to happen?
I think Bob Beers is going to give Senator Rawson a full day's work.
We need to hurry up.
Yes, I would agree with Bob.
Okay.
I don't know if Bob Beers run against Ray Rawson yet, but if he is, it's going to be an interesting race.
I think Rawson will beat Beers because he's got such a broad base.
Okay, that's it. We'll be right back.
Big Apple Pizza, best pizza in Nevada, take one.
Today we're making homemade meatballs for a meatball parm. You like cheesesteak? I think you're like in South Philly right now. It's the best cheese ever made. Now that's how a Philly cheesesteak's supposed to look.
And here's Little Cole.
This is authentic. We'll throw some pepperoni in here. Not gonna be shy about it. I bet you guys didn't know I could do that. Don't skimp on the toppings. Authentic as it gets. Big Apple Pizza and Subs on the corner of Bering and McCarran, a New Jersey guy who knows how to make an East Coast pizza.
Would you like to savor a Trento pork chop? Or maybe pasta rags with grilled chicken? Hugo's Tuscan Grill at D'Andrea is a celebration of color, flavor, and freshness. Each dish is created from natural, wholesome foods that is delicious and nutritious. Hugo's is a comfortable restaurant with breathtaking city views. If you enjoy great food and good company, visit us here at Hugo's. It's the best that dining can be. 2900 South D'Andrea Parkway in Sparks.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Terry.
And this is Dan's Pizza and Parlor. Everything we make here is from scratch. Our fresh cut fries, homemade hamburgers made to order, fresh pizza dough made with 3 types of flour, and Terry's secret pizza sauce, and Dreyer's world-famous ice cream. And if you have a sports team, your kids can really have a great time here. Oh! Dan's Pizza and Parlor on Victorian Avenue, just down the street from Great Basin Brewery next to Pyramid Highway.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
And be with us tomorrow when we talk to Senator Mark Ande. And Scott Craigie and Sam and I discuss No Child Left Behind. Remember, you can see the show at 9:30 at night on Charter Cable 12 in Reno, Carson City, 19 in Douglas County. And listen to it on KOH Sunday morning from 9 to 11. Thank you.